Are you ready for your next act? Please welcome to the stage the fantastic Todd!
Good evening, everyone. My name's Todd. I'm an optimist. I am suspicious of technology, but I love magic. I've loved magic ever since I was a kid. I would go to a magic show by my friend's dad, Mr. Clark. He would ask me to pick a card from the deck, and then he would read what that card was from my mind. And I would think to myself, wow. Followed very quickly by, thank God, my dad can't read my mind. Frankly, there was no way my dad could read my mind. His ambition for me was to love football and adore Stoke City Football Club. If he could see anything that was going on in here, he would have instantly known it was totally a lost cause. As I started to get older, I became suspicious, however, about Mr. Clark's magic. Surely, if he really was magic, I would pick a card, and it wouldn't be the 3 of hearts. It would say, "Hi, Todd. 4231 is the PIN number for your mum's debit card. You can use this to buy yourself ice cream." That would be real magic. But just as I was getting suspicious about the potential for magical dads, the world around me seemed to be getting more magic. Let's take the evolution of maps. When I first started reading Harry Potter, it was in the back of a car when my parents were driving us on a camping trip. We were going from Lancashire, where my parents lived, to the Lake District, and I was in the back reading my book, of course, with a fake cover that said, "A History of Stoke City Football Club," trying to concentrate as my parents tried to read the map. Has anybody else had the experience of people reading a paper map in the car? If my mum tried to read the map, she would get very carsick. If my dad tried to read the map, well, he could read it, but he would forget to steer the car. Either way, it was very stressful, and my parents would argue a lot, until one day, along came Google Maps. Google Maps was real magic. It told us exactly where we were, where we needed to go, and even kept my dad's eyes on the road. Perhaps best of all, it stopped my parents from arguing. With each other, because these days they argue with the phone instead. Inspired by Google Maps, I always knew I wanted to work with technology. Any tech people in the audience?
Yes, there are.
It's okay. I know there's some, but tech people are introverts, so. I thought tech was magic. I started programming when I was 13, and I would sit in front of the computer typing these arcane languages, and the computer would do things. In Harry Potter, you can cast the spell Obliviate. Good job Amanda's already been, because she just forgot her entire set. Because that would wipe someone's mind. In computer language, you could type RM space minus RF space slash, and it will wipe the entire hard drive of the computer, which I happily verified on the computers of my high school. Like me, however, technology, and even Google Maps, can be a little bit mischievous. I have a friend whose mum, Mrs. July, she's a wonderful woman. She went to Budapest, and she'd heard that the bathhouses were really, really good. So she hears about one called Széchenyi, which apparently is very, very nice. She opens Google Maps and types in Széchenyi, S-Z-E-C-H-E-N-Y-I, Széchenyi, and it navigates her to this beautiful, grand building. She's very happy. She goes in, she pays for entry, She finds the changing rooms, gets changed into her swimming costume and her flip-flops. But she can't, however, find the changing rooms. Sorry, she's found the changing rooms. The swimming pool. Because it turns out that on Google Maps, before she had hit search, she first hit the spacebar, which autocorrected Secheni, the baths, to synagogue, the religious building. Mrs. July is blissfully unaware of this fact. She is walking around, flip-flopping around, trying to find the swimming pool as she goes deeper into the synagogue, until she hears from the other end of the corridor a very confused rabbi, "Shalom, madame?" I have to say, that's a real story, and I love that joke so much I forgot myself. So, after high school, I went on to study computer science and eventually become a software engineer. And it was great, but after a while, I started to feel like something wasn't quite right, especially with big tech. Google. Google had promised to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible to everyone. But I think they maybe took that a little bit too seriously. Do companies like Dyson, who make vacuum cleaners, really need to know that over the past 2 weeks I've been Googling Harry Potter magic and which is the best bar in Budapest? I don't think so. All they really need to know is that I already have a vacuum cleaner, it works very well, and I don't need another one. Facebook. Facebook, alongside Instagram and WhatsApp, is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg wanted to use social media technology to connect human beings together. As far as I can tell, he's only succeeded in connecting us all to our local conspiracy theorists. Mine, her name is Alice. I bump into Alice occasionally in real life, but on Facebook, she is every other post. As far as I can tell, her topic of special interest is civil war in the UK, circa 2030. And when I go on Facebook for a little procrastination break, I honestly feel like she's giving me a personal guided tour of the inside of Nigel Farage's xenophobic mind palace. What's next? The thing is, though, that millions, if not billions of us being locked inside Nigel Farage's mind palace is actually very profitable for some people. Big tech oligarchs, people like Mark Zuckerberg, but also Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, they have spent the past 20 years inventing a new kind of digital capitalism, which is very profitable for them, but extractive, controlling, and even addictive for us. If I may say so, ladies and gentlemen, these oligarchs are not the dads that we want reading our minds. The thing is that technology can be magic. Medical technology eradicated smallpox. Social and political technology gave us liberal democracy. GPS technology stopped my parents from arguing in the car. I even heard that there's something else recently that could stop them from arguing anywhere. I think they call it couples therapy. Anyway, we have all of the magical ingredients we need to imagine a better future. Instead of surveillance capitalism of us, how about we have surveillance capitalism of our fridges and never run out of oat milk again? Instead of connecting over Facebook and making Mark Zuckerberg even more rich, why don't we build fast trains in Northern England and connect in person? What a radical idea. Someone please tell Keir Starmer that Mark Zuckerberg is worth £157 billion, and he could pay for HS2 not once, but twice. Maybe, instead of Alice posting conspiracy theories about the UK's next civil war online, she should be here with us at an amateur comedy event offline. compassionate comedy to make sure our next civil war never happens. Thank you. Good night.